Your soulmate saying, I never thought I'd have to say this to you. My beloved child. Don't skip, because what you are about to hear was never meant to be spoken this soon. Your soulmate has carried these words in silence for far longer than you realize, hoping the right moment would somehow arrive on its own. But something unexpected changed everything. A single realization shattered every excuse they had been hiding behind, and now the sentence they never imagined saying is pressing against their heart with unstoppable force. They keep whispering, I never thought I'd have to say this to you, and every time those words cross their mind, they feel the weight of every missed opportunity between you. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and the final truth behind those words is far more emotional than anyone could have predicted. This is not about a perfect love story. This is about a moment that changes everything once the truth can no longer stay hidden. Deep inside, they are replaying every conversation, every silence, every glance they ignored, wondering how they misunderstood someone who was standing right in front of them. They are beginning to realize that what they once dismissed as coincidence may have been the most meaningful connection they had ever experienced. And that realization is becoming impossible to escape. There is another reason these words suddenly refuse to stay locked away. Someone recently asked them a simple question they couldn't answer without thinking about you. That question opened a door they had kept sealed for so long. Since then, every ordinary moment has started reminding them of something connected to you. A familiar place. A familiar song. A familiar smile they thought they had forgotten. None of it makes sense to them anymore because the harder they try to move forward, the stronger those memories become. Don't skip, because this is where everything begins to change. They finally admitted to themselves that they were never running away from you. They were running away from what they truly felt. That difference changed everything. Now they keep wondering whether you have already moved on, whether someone else noticed your value before they had the courage to admit it. That fear is growing louder every single day. They wish they could erase every misunderstanding, every delay, every moment when pride spoke louder than honesty. Yet the more they think about reaching out, the more they fear that they waited too long. They never expected silence to become heavier than words, but now silence is the one thing they can no longer carry. Now listen carefully, because the next moment is the one they never prepared for. Last night they imagined what would happen if they never got another chance to tell you what had been buried inside their heart. That thought shook them more than they expected. Suddenly every excuse sounded meaningless. Every reason for waiting felt smaller than the possibility of losing you forever. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They finally whispered the words they had been avoiding for so long. I never thought I'd have to say this to you, but losing the chance to be honest scares me more than telling the truth. Those words changed something inside them. They are standing at the edge of a decision that could transform everything, yet one final piece of the story is still hidden. There is something they discovered about themselves after speaking those words aloud, something so unexpected that it explains every confusing moment from the past and reveals why your connection never completely disappeared. The moment that truth comes into the light, nothing between you will ever look the same again. A quiet shift is already happening, even if nobody else can see it. Your soulmate has stopped pretending that these emotions will simply disappear with time. Instead, they have started asking themselves the questions they spent months avoiding. What if the connection was real from the very beginning? What if every strange coincidence was pushing them toward a truth they refused to face? Don't skip, because the next revelation changes the direction of this entire story. They are beginning to understand that fear never protected them, it only delayed the moment they would eventually have to face. Every memory now carries a different meaning. The conversations they once thought were ordinary suddenly feel unforgettable. The moments they ignored now seem impossible to replace. And with every passing day, one realization keeps echoing louder inside their heart: they never truly walked away from you. They only walked away from admitting what you meant to them. Something even more surprising happened after that realization. They imagined seeing you happy without them, and instead of feeling relief, they felt an emptiness they could no longer explain. That single thought revealed a truth they had hidden even from themselves. They finally understood why your name keeps returning to their mind at unexpected moments. Why every future they picture somehow leads back to you. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They have reached the point where pretending no longer feels possible. They are quietly preparing themselves for a conversation they never believed they would have. But one fear still refuses to let go. They wonder if you would even listen after everything that remained unsaid. They worry that the silence between you may have spoken louder than the words they never shared. Even so, their heart keeps pulling them toward one final chance. And now the story takes another unexpected turn. There is one detail they have not revealed to anyone. While everyone around them believes they have already moved on, the truth is completely different. Behind every smile is a question only you can answer. Behind every calm moment is a decision they are getting closer to making. Don't skip, because what happens next could change everything you thought you knew about this connection. They have reached the edge where fear and honesty finally meet, and they know they cannot stand there forever. Very soon, a choice will have to be made. When that moment arrives, the words, "I never thought I'd have to say this to you," will finally be followed by the confession they have carried in silence for far too long. But before those words leave their heart, one unexpected event is about to happen, an event that neither of you could have predicted, and it will reveal whether this connection was waiting for the right moment all along or whether destiny has one final surprise still hidden. Everything changes the moment they stop fighting their own heart. They wake up with the strange feeling that waiting any longer will only create more regret. The excuses that once sounded convincing now feel empty, and the walls they built around their emotions are beginning to fall one by one. Don't skip, because this is the moment the hidden story starts revealing itself. For the first time, they allow themselves to imagine a future where honesty replaces fear. That thought brings both peace and panic at the same time. Peace because they finally know what they truly want. Panic because they have no idea whether the opportunity is still there. Every passing hour feels more valuable than the last. Every memory reminds them that life can change before anyone is ready. They keep hearing the same sentence repeating inside their mind: "If I stay silent one more time, I may lose the chance forever." That realization refuses to leave them, no matter how hard they try to distract themselves. A surprising chain of events begins to unfold. Small signs appear where they least expect them. A familiar place reminds them of your laughter. A random conversation echoes words you once said. Even the quiet moments seem to carry your presence in ways they cannot explain. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They are no longer asking whether they should speak. They are asking when. The answer feels closer than ever before. Yet one final fear keeps holding their hand back. What if you believe they only returned because they felt lonely? What if you never discover the countless nights they spent wishing they had chosen courage instead of silence? They want you to know that none of this was planned. Their hearts simply reached a point where hiding the truth became more painful than revealing it. And that truth is becoming impossible to ignore. Now comes the moment that has been quietly approaching from the very beginning. They finally realize that the words, "I never thought I'd have to say this to you," were never the ending, they were only the beginning. Don't skip, because the next step will reveal what those words were protecting all along. They are preparing themselves to let go of pride, uncertainty, and every excuse that once stood between you. Their greatest fear is no longer rejection. Their greatest fear is wondering for the rest of their life what could have happened if they had simply been honest. As that understanding settles into their heart, an unexpected opportunity suddenly appears in front of them, one they never saw coming. It feels almost as if life itself is offering one final opening before the door quietly closes. Whether they step through that opening or hesitate one last time will decide everything, and what happens next will reveal the secret they have been carrying since the very first moment they looked into your eyes. Nothing feels ordinary anymore. The closer they come to the truth, the more they realize that every delay has carried a price. They thought time would make their feelings disappear, but instead, time made them impossible to ignore. Don't skip, because the next few moments reveal why everything changed so suddenly. They have stopped asking themselves whether you mattered. That question has already been answered inside their heart. The only question left is whether they still have the courage to let you hear what they have hidden for so long. Every sunrise now feels like another chance slipping away, and every sunset reminds them that opportunities do not wait forever. They can no longer pretend that silence is protecting either of you. For the first time, they understand that the greatest risk was never speaking the truth, it was allowing the truth to remain unspoken. An unexpected realization arrives when they revisit the memories they once tried to forget. Instead of seeing mistakes, they begin seeing moments that quietly brought both of you closer than either of you understood at the time. The conversations that seemed small now feel unforgettable. The pauses between your words suddenly carry meanings they completely overlooked. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They finally admit that they were searching for certainty when all they ever needed was honesty. The fear of saying the wrong thing kept them from saying the right thing. That realization shakes them deeply. Now they imagine standing in front of you with nothing left to hide, no rehearsed speech, no perfect explanation, only the truth. And strangely, that thought brings them more peace than any excuse they ever created. Now the story reaches a turning point that cannot be undone. They have made a quiet promise to themselves that the next opportunity will not be wasted. Don't skip, because the words they are preparing to say will explain everything that has remained hidden since the beginning. They keep repeating them in their mind. I never thought I'd have to say this to you. But you became the one person I could never truly leave behind. Those words are no longer just a thought, they are becoming a decision. Something is already moving behind the scenes, placing both of you closer to a moment neither of you expected. One conversation, one unexpected encounter, or one simple message could unlock everything that has remained frozen for so long. But there is still one final truth they have not uncovered. A truth so powerful that once they see it, every doubt they carried will disappear, and the next chapter of this story will begin in a way neither of you could have imagined. The moment they accepted that they could no longer hide behind silence, everything inside them began to change. They stopped searching for reasons to stay away and started searching for reasons to finally step forward. Don't skip, because what happens now is the moment this entire journey has been leading toward. Every memory has become sharper than before. They remember the conversations they thought were meaningless, the smiles they failed to understand, and the moments when your presence brought a peace they could never explain. For so long they convinced themselves that walking away was the safest choice, but now they see that every step away from you only brought them closer to regret. The truth they never wanted to face has become impossible to escape. They no longer fear what people might think. They no longer fear looking vulnerable. The only fear left is waking up one day knowing they allowed the most meaningful connection of their life to disappear without ever giving it a chance. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They can almost hear the words forming before they are even spoken. Their heart keeps whispering that this is the last opportunity to replace silence with honesty, hesitation with courage, and uncertainty with a decision that could change everything forever. What makes this even more unbelievable is that they recently noticed something they had overlooked from the very beginning. Every time they imagined their future, no matter how much they tried to change the picture, you somehow remained a part of it. They tried replacing the faces, changing the places, imagining different paths, but every road somehow circled back to the same destination. That realization shook them more than they expected because it answered a question they had been asking themselves for so long. Why couldn't they truly let go? Why did every attempt to move forward feel incomplete? Don't skip, because the answer is finally becoming clear. They have realized that some connections leave an imprint that time cannot erase. Instead of fading, your memory became stronger with every passing season. Instead of becoming a chapter they closed, you became the chapter they kept rereading in their heart. Now they understand why those unfinished conversations still echo in their mind, why your kindness still appears in unexpected moments, and why every quiet evening eventually leads back to the same thought. They never thought they would have to admit that someone could become this important to them, but denying it has become more exhausting than embracing it. For the first time, they are no longer asking whether they should tell you the truth. They are preparing themselves for the moment when they finally will. Now the final pieces are quietly falling into place. A moment neither of you planned is moving closer with every passing day, and they can feel it even if they cannot explain why. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They have already decided that if life places one more opportunity in front of them, they will not allow fear to steal it again. They will speak with complete honesty, even if their voice trembles. They will no longer hide behind perfect timing or impossible expectations. They will finally finish the sentence that has been waiting since the beginning. I never thought I'd have to say this to you. But losing you without telling you how much you truly changed my life would be the greatest regret I could ever carry. Yet there is still one extraordinary detail they have not discovered. Very soon, an unexpected event will reveal something about this connection that neither of you has seen before. It will answer the question that has remained hidden since the very first moment your paths crossed, and when that truth finally comes into the light, every delay, every unanswered feeling, every confusing moment, and every silent goodbye will suddenly make perfect sense. The story is no longer about whether they will speak. It is about what happens immediately after those long-awaited words finally leave their heart, because the next chapter will reveal a truth powerful enough to change the future of this connection forever. My beloved child. The waiting is almost over, and the silence that has surrounded this story for so long is beginning to break. Don't skip, because the next few moments reveal what your soulmate has been unable to say until now. They finally understand that some opportunities appear only once, and if they let this one pass, they may spend the rest of their life wondering what could have been. Every excuse has lost its power. Every fear has become smaller than the truth beating inside their heart. They have stopped asking whether they should reach out. Instead, they have started preparing themselves for the moment they finally do. Their heartbeat feels different whenever your name crosses their mind. It is no longer filled with confusion, it is filled with certainty. They never expected certainty to arrive so quietly, but once it did, it changed everything. The future they once tried to avoid is now the only future they truly want to explore. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. There is one final realization they can no longer ignore: the greatest mistake was never loving you, it was believing they could hide those feelings forever. Something unexpected happens as they begin imagining what they will say when the moment finally arrives. They realize they don't need perfect words. They don't need a flawless plan. They only need honesty. That single realization lifts a weight they have carried for far too long. Don't skip, because this changes the entire direction of their journey. They picture themselves looking into your eyes without pretending to be stronger than they feel. They picture themselves admitting every hesitation, every regret, and every moment they wished they had chosen courage instead of distance. For the first time in a long time, hope becomes stronger than fear. They understand that even if the road ahead is uncertain, living with honesty is better than living with endless questions. They finally accept that some connections deserve to be protected instead of postponed. Every memory that once brought sadness now becomes a reminder that this story is still unfinished. Deep inside, they believe there is still time to write a different ending, but they know that ending can only begin when the truth is finally spoken aloud. Now the moment you have been waiting for is closer than ever before. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate is no longer running from the words that once terrified them. They are ready to complete the sentence that has echoed throughout this journey: I never thought I'd have to say this to you, but you changed me in ways I never had the courage to admit. Those words are no longer hidden inside their heart, they are becoming their next step. One unexpected conversation, one unplanned meeting, or one simple message could become the turning point that changes everything. And when that moment arrives, you will finally understand why every delay, every unanswered question, and every emotional twist brought this story to exactly this point. But one last secret still remains hidden. There is a reason this connection refused to disappear no matter how much time passed, and when that final truth is revealed, you will see that this was never just about finding the right words, it was about becoming the right people at the right moment. The next chapter begins where fear ends, and nothing will ever feel the same again.